This is going to be funny.
Hey everybody, Jason Benson here, out in the shop on a Saturday morning doing a little cleaning up, getting ready to start creating some content for you guys. As you can see by looking around the shop, we have no shortage of subject matter. We got some racing wings and some quadcopters. We may even break out the old decathlon for a little bit of fun. So stay tuned, definitely check it out. But had a little story to tell you. I want to set up this next video for you. So over the past 35-ish years flying RC models, I've made quite a few great friends that now live all over the world. Some that are really close friends, and some that we just know we share a common bond of a love of radio control flight. So one of these said friends is a guy named Gary Cummings. You guys, if you know him as GMONEY. Back in the flying circus days, he was quite the personality on the forums and on Flying Giants and a few of the others out there. So Gary moved to Texas 8 to 10 years ago now. Good friend. We still talk at least once a week, sometimes once a day, twice a day. But we've been talking about what's going on here with flight reviews and what John and I are doing, and Gary got a little excited. So one day he was at a bike shop, as you'll hear in the video, that was next to a hobby shop, and he got a little bit of a wild hair, and he stopped in and he bought himself a new RC helicopter. Gary's flown planes and helis for years and years, and he's always been drawn to the helis, so he picked himself up a new Blade Nano CP and a Spektrum DX6E, and so here we're going to see his unboxing video, and this is from the perspective of someone who hasn't flown RC in 8 to 10 years. So he's going to kind of take note of some of the changes. I'm going to give him a little guidance from here since I've been in it all along, and some things have changed, as you'll see, like reading manuals is a good thing these days, huh, Gary? Anyway, so stay tuned, check this out. Let us know what you think. We're going to do this from time to time, bring in other perspectives, because, you know, as someone who's been flying 35 years, I've seen a lot. You can build most any model without an instruction manual, and sometimes my view isn't necessarily the same view as someone who's new coming into this, and we want to get that too. We want to kind of give you that, you know, that new look and that new impression. So anyways, check the video out with Gary here, and hope you enjoy.
Alright guys and girls, GMONEY here. It's been quite a few years since I've done one of these. Oh man, I would say close to 10. Moved from Southern California, kind of got away from the hobby a little bit. Ride bikes quite a bit, played a little bit disc golf, and last, I don't know, 10 since October, been working on retrofitting a Defiant. All that conversation and all those tasks kind of got me lined back up with my friend Jason Benson, who I shouldn't say lined back up, I still talk to him once a week for the past 10 years. He has got a new endeavor called Flight Reviews. So in that process of him and I talking back and forth and bouncing ideas off each other, which we do quite frequently, kind of got that bug back. So I was next door at the bike shop that is next door to a hobby shop that I do my very best not to go into because it's more of a toy store than a hobby shop. But I meandered in this week and I thought, you know what, why the hell not? So everything's 10 years old, so I'll just say that everything that I have that's sitting in the shed at home is junk. It's not viable by any means. Heck, I can't even find my 95. I have a Spektrum radio somewhere at the house, and it's been so long, it's a 90, I have no idea. Doesn't have an antenna on it. So anyway, so went into, I want to tell you it was Hobby People or Hobby, I don't even freaking know. They sell discs, so that's the only reason, the other reason I would go in there, and a lot of toys. So walked in there yesterday or the day before and walked out with new radio, a little helicopter, and a spare battery. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this stuff out of the box real quick and show you guys what I see. And like I said, it's been 10 years since I've touched anything hobby related, so I don't expect night and day difference, but I do expect some differences. So we'll just go ahead and get started. I picked up this, it's a Horizon, it's the Nano CP S, and it has something called safe technology, which could be quite interesting if it actually does what it says it's going to do. I poked around a little bit on the internet, and where was this 10 years ago? Because if it actually works in panic mode and I can push or release a button and it self-rights, I'd have a small fortune back in 90 size blades. So wow, that is definitely not a kit. So I don't know if you can see this or not, but it's all in there. It's all plastic coated, all vacuum formed. actually kind of bitching. Oh wow, the chargers for the battery is on a USB cord. That's craziness. That's fantastic. So I think the last one of these I got, you had to have a bunch of like AA batteries on a black charging base, and you plug these little batteries in, and ridiculous. Or you bought another charger and plugged all these little 150 milliamp packs in. They haven't changed that connector by the looks of it at all, but that is kind of cool. Kind of jamming for a full function helicopter. A couple things in the bottom of the box here. Looks like a different set of blades. I wonder what that's all about. I'll have to figure out what all that junk is. I don't read well, so like most of you, I'll go to YouTube and figure out what to do. Instruction manual, probably never read it. Screwdriver, wow. And looks like another tail blade, a set of blades with some pokey things on it. I don't know what the heck that is. We'll have to check that out. Some ends, ball ends, and that is either a wrench. I don't know what the heck that. I don't know what that is, but we'll look into that, and a couple spare parts, I guess. No big deal. Actually, pretty jam little vacuum form kit. These guys have definitely got their shit together now in packaging. That is just crazy. Look at how small that thing is. Wow. So I guess we're out of the box there on the Nano. That is just wow. USB LiPo charger. That's some crazy stuff right there. Who would have ever thought that they could have done that with a USB? That's actually kind of awesome. Alright, well that's it for the Nano. I did get some other things here. So this shit I'm never going to read, so whatever. YouTube is your friend. Go to YouTube and figure it all out. That's what I'm going to do. I did get a spare battery. I don't know, geez, I think it was $6. And I bet if I shop, you're right, didn't go to the hobby shop, put this in a cart at Amazon, which we'll put a link in the description here. I bet it's half that price, or at least 10 or 20% cheaper. This was wow, that's crazy. It's just one of those last minute, like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go get one of those. And I was in the store, and the guy was super cool and took a minute with me, and we made a couple quick decisions. And I think I was in this hobby shop for 15 minutes. So the next thing that I had to get, only because I would have to go find my other radio, is a radio. And I didn't do any research. Just kind of thought back that, hey, I don't want to do giant scale ever again. I don't want to do giant helicopters again. I'm not going to compete. We're not going to go to fun flies. I am just going to fly at the house. So keeping it simple, I remember back 10 years ago, the DX6 was a solid radio. They had a couple of different options. I couldn't figure out any of them, and the guy he kind of knew what he was talking about, but then again he didn't. There's a big old ass manual that, again, I won't read. I'll just go and hit YouTube, and I guarantee you there's a guy out there that has got the setup for this thing already pre-programmed and ready to go. So I'll just match those and make that happen. So, oh wow. I really hope that's not the radio battery. That will suck. That'll really suck. DX6E wasn't even $200. Actually, cool. Display screen. Wow. Got every function that my 9 had that I can recall offhand. Trims. Very interesting. No neck strap though. That's odd. Who knows what that is, but that's disappointing. If that is what's powering this thing, wow, we'll have to definitely look for an upgrade for that, and sure as shit it is. What are these? AA's? 4 AA's to power the radio. I guess that's entry level today. You just, wow. I will definitely find an upgrade for that. I'm not going to go shopping for batteries, and I'm not going to go charge these silly things, so I'm sure that a couple of phone calls and a little bit of searching will find a radio. Feels good though. Power switch is cool. Layout's cool. Feels about right. A little plasticky. Not as heavy as my old radio. But again, I'm not looking to do anything serious. Just going to go play. So, tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to put some batteries in this thing. these cheeseball batteries in this thing and do a little bit of research, and we'll come back and we see if I can't still fly. Well, I maybe hover. Let's try to hover. So give me a little bit and we'll be back. Thanks, guys.